Hey, Scorpion72 here. This past Saturday, I got invited to the McFarlane Toys EB Games collectors meetup here. It was really cool. They had a raffle. We can win some sweet prizes here. A lot of the product and stuff there was a raffle ticket. And without further ado, let's get into it. Agreed by Raphael, of course. The Ninja Turtles, Team Ninja Turtles that they're doing were on hand, and they look really awesome. They're showing up the U.S. right now, so it should be hitting Canada shortly. A lot of the product here they had were already out, are on its way out, but the majority of it you should be able to find at retail right now. Batman the Animated Series and the DC Super Friends line that they just started are going to be continuing. So that's still on the table, and they still can do those figures. So there's going to be more of them coming out. So there's a good chance we get all our Super Friends and stuff. Superpowers, I'm not quite sure. It might be trickling here and there, but I think they'll concentrate mostly in the Super Friends stuff. It's going to be a lot more The Walking Dead. Raw 10 there that had two figures that were not released, with the Scorpion and Bumblebee, which is a shame because the Scorpion is really articulated and it was really well, and it had a really good wash on it. You have some of the Avatar. We didn't see any of the new Avatar from the movie, but now I'm seeing online that that he's out there in stores. The Batmobile crowdfunding should be shipping in October, with rumor of maybe it appearing at retail, but for all the bells and whistles, meaning no figures, no extra stuff that were the crowdfund. But don't quote me on that. It may or may not hit retail. The Batmobile 66 is really nice to see and hold in hand. There's a Robin figure they're going to make. Not sure if it's coming with the vehicle or not, but he is coming out. So you got the Batman Adam West figure, Robin Burt Ward is going to be coming out, so you can put them both inside of the car. The other thing that they had featured there was the Batman Returns figures, which they knew were very popular last year. Unfortunately, they did not allocate to make a lot more of them. So basically, you had the pre-orders, which sold out in like less than 10 minutes. The Duck sold out in less than Duck sold in less than 10 minutes. Catwoman sold in less than 5, and the rest of the figures sold in less than 8 or so minutes. When they do appear at retail, that is your chance to get them, because they don't plan on reissuing them or making more, from what I'm gathering for what they're saying. So that will be your chance to get them. Well, if you pre-order them, you don't have nothing to worry about. If you see them at retail, that's your green light to go and hunt them down as fast as you can. If not, you're gonna have to go tracking on the secondary market. The Marvel PVC statue line is continuing. It's doing really well for them. Those are actually McFarlane's graded comics, which he signed and have graded. And he brought them there to have like locked up. He did appear apparently in the morning. Well, early. He had the meetings to go to later on that day, so he came there to drop off those comics, some personal figures of his, and his HBO Emmy that he won from the Spawn animated series back then, which you guys can catch now, which is really, really, it was ahead of its time when it did come out. Other things is that they cannot do the DC Multiverse line. There are a lot more DC figures come out between now and by the time their contract ends. They might be able to still produce some. Don't quote me on that, but it might be able to still do it through the page punchers, through DC Direct. They're looking for ways to try to continue this line, because they know how popular it is and how popular it's become, even more so now. So they were looking for ways to continue it. But like I said before, Batman animated series and DC Super Friends, as far as I know, from what I heard, it's going to be continuing, and they're going to continue that line going. And see some, as you can see, you see some what you got, prototypes and stuff. This was a creme de la creme for me, with Batman Beyond 1-to-1 bus. It looks amazing up in front, and it just looks amazing. I have the other three, but this one's my one, could be one of my all-time favorites. I got to find a spot for this thing. So they had more statues and everything. The suggestions made. Any suggestions of figures that you guys think that you want and stuff, do post it. They do read the comments. I was saying they should make a Felix Faust, and they should make a anti-monitor 33-inch, like, light up eyes and features Peacemaker should be coming out soon. The Bat Cycle here is from the Flash movie. We'll have that battle ram. I forgot to ask them if the Batman will be included or not. There's a chance he might or might not be, just like how they did the Bat Pod. So it's a good chance that the Batman will be included with this cycle. They had a lot of elites, Fallout figures, a lot more Fallout figures. Some new ones just now hitting retail. So you should be able to find those really, really soon. Not too sure on the Spawn line if they could continue that, but I think they're still going to have a few figures here and there. They're not going to be too focused on that, as their other lines are doing apparently a lot better than at the moment, like on Demon Slayer and any of the Fallout and Mortal Kombat especially. Mortal Kombat, they will be doing a type of accessory pack where there's blood, extra pieces, like how Street Fighter did with the San Diego Comic Con exclusive there with like charred body. Well, not charred, but you know, when any effects that you saw in the game is basically what they're aiming for. I did mention that they should do a Green Lantern construct assortment, which they took note and said, yeah, that would be really cool. They're trying to see about working on that. Going back to the movie line, they are aware of how popular the Batman 89 is, and just like the fact that the reason why it's been delayed is because Jack Nicholson charges $1 million for his likeness, which would bring the figure to $150, and we all know nobody's paying $150 for one figure in 7-inch. So there's possibility that because like what they did with the Batman 66 with Wonder Woman, she appeared in comic book, and some of the characters appear in comic book, that would be the way to do it. And as I mentioned, even when Kenner did it, they didn't even have he didn't even look like Jack Nicholson when they released it back then in the 90s. So that might be their way to get you kind of look alike Joker. And I don't know who else would be in that line. Probably Bob the Goon, or maybe the guy with the ninja swords that got kicked in the face. Digital line, I suggested that maybe that will be the best way for them to re-release the Wonder Woman, because they know how many of you guys have been asking for the Wonder Woman figure to be released. I just said maybe minus the clapping hands, I call them, which is the open hands, and maybe take away the axe if you guys think that's a good idea. Maybe just have her a shield and a lasso and stuff like that. That'll be a way, because they hear you, but they're basically like, if you missed it, it's kind of like you gotta go to secondary market, but they know that Wonder Woman is a very, very requested figure, and they're trying to see a way to get her, that particular one, re-released. Mortal Kombat, as I mentioned, is doing really well. I did mention why our other lines didn't have a mega figure for Mortal Kombat. They said it's basically the tooling, which is a one-shot thing for like Goro, Motaro. I could see Goro and Kentaro sharing the same tooling, but when it comes to Shiva and Motaro, it's a whole different story. So it comes down to that. So, but the line does really well. Side note, that Radiant's the most expensive figure in that 2-pack, so he costs a lot to tool, because the ninjas they can redo easily. But yeah, I mentioned for them to redo, like make use of Raiden, just find a way to remove the tunic or change it, so you can have a more like, you know, more Combat 1 Raiden. So they're like keen on that idea too. So yeah, so we have the Batmobile here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. That I went on a conversation. I had a long talk. I talked to Brian, who says there's a lot more DC stuff coming out. Just stay tuned. New York Comic Con coming up in the next week and a half, and of course with the Todd McFarlane show. And later, 2 weeks after that, they're gonna do a recap. And every time they do that show, they will be showing new product. So you don't have to wait until Toyfer to see new product. They will be showing new product all the way up until, I think, this the summer of 2026. The other thing is that as I was talking a lot, I had a long chit chat with her, a lot of the other everybody was just enthusiastic. I'm just excited. I'm almost like I can't talk right now, because it was a really cool event. I was glad to get that email. I was no way going to miss it. There's the raw 10 figures I was telling you about. The scorpion and the bumblebee. They look amazing up close. The duck is quite heavy. I got to pick up the duck. He is heavy, so it is true. He's like a blunt object, but it's really, really well done. Nice washing it. That Batman Beyond bus I cannot wait for. And yes, I want to thank everybody at McFarlane Toys, EB Games, which has been getting most of my money for the last, like, what, 5 years now. So I could get more of my money. Anyways, I'm glad I got invited. I can't wait to have another event like this again here in Montreal. I'm definitely going. If you get invited, it's worth it to go. And yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. Had food, soft drinks, and everybody enthusiastic. Nice little like way to geek out with a lot of the people that are involved in this line, and it's not overcrowded by like the big cons and stuff where you can talk to them one on one. So it's really really nice, really cool. I do recommend it. So until then, hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments there. And yeah, until next time, keep collecting and get ready because there's a lot more. They seem to be really pumping out the figures and they're not stopping. They have a lot more down the line. And I think they're just going to be rolling them out like no tomorrow. So maybe take that second shift at your job. Get another job. You make more space because the DC multiverse figures, all the figures you like, anime, Marvel statues, all that stuff, they're coming and they're coming fast and furious. I'm surprised I haven't touched that, but who knows? You never know now. Anyway, Scorpion72 saying thank you. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Until next time. Bye. And a special shout out to Claudio, who I think I talked to him about it for an hour and showed him my collection, which is really impressed with, and I'm quite impressed with it too. I saw some other people that were there at the event that I showed my collection to. So here's little snippets of some of the stuff as I'm reorganizing my toy room with all the new product coming out. I just want to make sure everything fits and fits nicely and looks really really nice. So yeah, so here's a little extra snippets of what I'm working on, and I'm hopefully be ready to do a full-on video by the end of the year, but we'll have to wait and see because like I said, a lot of stuff coming out this year and next.